Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today it is Sunday. The time is 3 o'clock in Virginia. I hope you are doing fine wherever you are. Uh, we're also doing very fine. Thank you, Paul Kiche. Thank you, Paul, for coming into the show.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nick Nyangiza. I'm also around.
Oh, thank you, my brother. How have you been? How have you been? Long time. Long time.
Okay. I'm doing well.
I
Yeah,
really appreciate seeing you. I mean, it has been a while.
yeah,
It has been
exactly.
it has been a while. Although I can't see your face, but I hoped that you would have put your camera on so that people can see you. Yes, we are alive. We are alive. So it doesn't matter where you are. This is
Okay.
True TV. This is a TV where we talk about politics and what has developed throughout the week. Every week, I recap this show so that we can inform our viewers of what is happening in the country and what is happening at grassroots politics and your view of the current government. I hope so many people will join. That link I sent you, can you send it somewhere, maybe for other people to join? You just copy and paste it in other channels so that we can have a discussion. But
Okay, okay.
anyway, welcome to the show. Don't log out. If you log out, you'll have to come back again. So, karibu sana. I'm expecting more people to come in as we discuss our country and our county. So, Mr. Paul, how have you been?
Nick, we are doing well in this part called Kenya.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Kenya, even though people are still crying about maybe leadership that we are currently having, but all in
Mm-hmm.
all shall be okay.
Oh, all right. Good to hear that. And I hope your family is also doing fine. I hope your family is doing fine, Mr. Paul. I have lost Paul Kiche, and this is a fine young gentleman. And Paul is politically also very informed. Yes, we are now in what seems to be a very thorny issue in the country, the financial bill 2023. This bill, how I look at it, is a bill that the president, just a second, hey, hey brother, Wodigilando, welcome to the show. I mean, I can't see your face, but you need to put your camera on. How are you?
I'm good, man.
How are you, my brother? Idinade,
I'm
wherever
good.
you are.
I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm doing great. This is I can see Paul Kiche is now back on the show. Let me invite Paul now.
I'm,
Uh,
I'm back. Nick.
oh, you're back.
Yeah,
We have Wood Gilando
very glad
in
to Nyakwa.
Wood Gilando in the show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is True TV. True Talk is where we discuss the political situation in the country, and we also discuss a bit of county politics. So we tend to avoid a lot of village politics. We now enter national politics. Gilando, can you please introduce yourself, where you are, where you are listening from? Myself, I'm in Virginia, and it is now 3:15 p.m. in Virginia. I hope you're doing fine. Karibu sana.
Okay, thank you very much. This is a magnificent opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm Wood Gilando that is a common name that I'm given, though I'm Austin Ogona,
Oh, karibu sana Austin.
listening from Kisumu, Kenya.
Uh-huh.
It is 10:10.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is 10:10.
Yeah.
What do you take about the political situation vis-a-vis the economy in Kenya at the moment?
Giving reference to the national politics or regional.
No, I want you to give reference to the Finance Bill 2023. What you think of the Finance Bill 2023?
Okay, I would just want to advocate for the common mwananchi.
Victor Okello is also in the show. Karibu sana, Victor. These are homeboys. Today, all my homeboys are here. Oh, yeah. Austin, the mic is yours.
That is not big. That is not big. That is Stephen Okello.
Who is this? I
That is
see.
Stephen from Rachuelo.
Okay. Now, Wood Gilando.
Yes.
Please, can you tell us what you think about the Finance Bill 2023?
Okay, I would advocate to the common mwananchi, and I want to say that we are past the crisis level. The effect is so rapid that the economy is becoming, even to those that are in this small business opportunities, cannot afford to survive. Now, the common mwananchi, ule ambaye hana kazi, okay, kuchanganya ndimi, would you allow me to
You can talk in a language you know best. You can even talk in Luo because there are people who will understand what you are saying. Koro kikibedi Luoro, you discuss in the language that we want to communicate, yeah? And we are communicating to some people who don't understand probably English, or they don't understand Kiswahili, or maybe that Luo is what they understand best. Or never mind the language, so long as we are communicating. Thank you.
Okay, laterally, I'll give my expression in our dialogue. Yeah?
Yes.
Finance bill budget mono somar 2023 ok ober ahinya kaluwore ni king'iyo kit kaka ji odak sani gi ngima mantiere, ji
Hapana ni network olal mar gwanano. So how come you're logging out, Paul? Paul, how come? Yeah, now I can see you. I can see you, Paul, properly.
Okay.
Austin, ni bimbele gi discussion. Akiani lal kanye.
No gochi na Paul ni sana.
Aya, dhia mbele udlu.
Erokamano. Karisiu mawacho niya, king'iyo ngima mar jo Kenya, the majority ok en kuma ber nikech tije bende tin. Yore mag yuto tin to ngima ni malo. To kineno budget mosom, common goods bechgi oidho. Onge moro madang' iwach ni ma ombekore matin ma ng'ato nyalo wacho ni abiro ng'iewo sukari moro achwakgo kata chae kapod amanyo yor mogo. Koro mineno ka ji te ng'ur ma koro wang'ni to onge ng'ama oyiero ni ober kata orach. Kasto gin owuon gisego tarubin nikech gitiyo gi intelligence mamalo ni to ng'ama onego oum dhoge mondo kik wuo mang'eny. Iyudo kata ka be civil servants kosekonigi ni gidhi golo 3% kata those tax manobedo mention kanyo matin go, tiwinjo ka kendo nyocha 2 days ago president himself wacho ni odhi medo osara mar civil servants to mekgi owuon to kik medi mondi, to in the real sense gini ne SRC osemedo margi osemedo donge. Koro iyudo ka ng'ama ne nyalo telo ne japiny dhi e ndara kata mane nyalo chungo tije mang'eny mag sirikal, ne en japuonj, ne en daktari, all those civil servants ema ne nyalo wacho kata ni koro nyithindo ok bi, jopuonj ogomo, dakteche ogomo, iwinjo. To kosemigi mit bilie to ok gigomo, koro ni japiny maonge gi tekre kata maonge kamomako mar sirikal to onge duol. Koro mano iyudo ka giseyawo yo ma gidwa timo godo timbegi. Mano emomiyo ngima medo bedo matek. An wuon kaka nene in that brief. Koro chal ka gima joma nie siasa kata miluongo ni politician gitoke sainde madongo dongo ma gibumbo ma ginyalo chamo nikech gimbe gin joma igi lach. Koro common mwananchi to nie bwo mesa, koro walaro mana molwar negi. Mana nyalo kete in that picture.
I think you are right. And Paul,
Yeah.
maybe you have a different perspective of the same. Inyalo wachonwa what you think about the Finance Bill 2023. Dogi kama Kenya ochimo.
Okay, thank you. I don't know. The first person that is is and the way I is from the side. But I will not take it seriously. I will just see the answer. Where we are doing is somehow critical what he has.
Gilando, Austin, the Mike Marino, Samoki wote idea ni mondo koro kik wayud echo kuom Paul. Yeah, good. Thank you, Austin. Paul de Mele.
So the you know what each of the more fair. So the finance in the government, we must give it a effort. You can't just say it is bad, you give it right. So let's just try it. If it fails, then we'll abandon it. The first of all, you start with the fuel price. Ni kaka ja ni ngamo sechi mitoro fuel malo, they price inflation. Wawinja
Dia winji maber koro.
Koro what gini mana sana tunakuwa wanene sana bila gini. Kwa kaya will bole. Toko bear so the other people are saying that we pay then we will get more money so that our country can develop and it will be okay. Yeah, kanya mampu.
I think you are right, but gima ng'eyo ni what people are not looking at, and probably Austin, I tried to mention something ni mshahara jiomedi. Mshahara jiomedi ndiyo ni gima mano nyalo bedo ni siasa, kendo nyalo bedo ni onyalo bedo ni en siasa ni msara omedi, to kendo nyalo bedo ni en gima nyalo konyo jok ma dipo ni winjo matek gi ngima masani. To gima ber en ni sirikal temo tiyo matek mondo one ni gichulo gope. At the same time, the common mwananchi be obed ata comfort zone. Koro gik ma Ruto timo e sirikal gi en gik ma oganda Luo nyalo neno ni gin gik ma hinyo, kata jo Kenya moko nyalo neno ni gigi gin gik mathiro kendo gik mabiro hinyo uchumi mar Kenya. But the bottom line en ni uchumi mar Kenya en control gi oil market. Oil market matiende ni Kenya onge gi uwezo mar control the fuel prices ma the oil producing countries. Koro iyudo ni bech mafuta kaka ng'ato wache e kaka obiro ng'iewe, and then en controlled by supply and demand. Ka nitie msukosuko kata tungni moko e pinje moko, koro kelo mafuta ni bedo matek. Emomiyo cost no koro ichoro ni kaka japiny, iwinja, mondo ini cushion the government. To ieno upinzani be wacho ni serikal Uhuru Kenyatta ne ngima yubete mayot matin. Akia ni mano be adieri, but Kenya kanyo nyalo wacho na ni ka ngima be ne yot e sirikand mar Uhuru Kenyatta. Wuod Gilando, ageno
Yes,
ni
Baba.
aduoki to inyalo dhi mbele gi discussion. Inyisa ni inti neno nade, to intie piny mane, in Kosoko, kose in Kisumo, kose in Nairobi, kose in Mombasa?
Okay, for now, I'm in Kisumu.
Oh, in Kisumu.
Yes.
Okay.
And another thing, just to pick from the last statement that you have highlighted, I want to give a contrast on the economy from the previous government and this one. Relatively, you can say that during the Uhuru reign, at least it is a normal custom or norm for the citizens. Usually they complain, they like lamenting when politics is hitting, because they are incited by their politicians. But life was a bit affordable compared to now. From the beginning, from when this government started, nothing has ever been fair. I do not want to criticize the government in any scenario that, mostly we are based on regional politics, that you go by your leader, your politician. But this is not about regional politics. This is a fact on how the situation is in Kenya.
Thank you for that analysis. Mr. Paul, what do you think about you being an agriculturalist and somebody who is very, very vast in matters of food production? What do you think the government can do, or the county governments should do, in order to ensure that we have food security in our counties and in the country?
Okay, like before we proceed with this thing I want to understand from you. So last time we had some edit from Brigadier Gachagua and Joseph Kuria. They were talking about it, that when you raise the business standard, where we buy goods that have higher prices. So they were complaining that we will be using a lot of money, but money we will be having them in our pocket. So I don't understand. We are saying that maybe the business houses will bring our money. So how many people will be employed? Maybe first in that case. How many people will be employed, or we will employ ourselves? maybe maybe 20%, so that we can put money in our pocket. That's the first thing that I think that I heard from the government. They were talking about that we will have high cost of living, but we will be having money in the pockets. Then now going back to the we have food security. In food security, we must now be back to agriculture, where we will be able to use this fertilizer that the president is bringing, or the government is giving to us, so that we use it to boost the soil fertility. In boosting soil fertility, we will have the end result as a production of maize, maybe beans, or any other thing that can be edible. That is now like beans, sweet potato. Let's talk about crop and agriculture of crop. So when we use such a opportunity, we'll be having food in our rather than going to the street demonstrating, we're having some funny issues. Yet the common humanity are suffering. So that is what I can say.
I think you are right. You are right, and being that President William Ruto is also an agriculturalist like you, we hope that is going to ensure that we have food security. I don't know whether the cheap fertilizer that the government was offering came to Homa Bay.
Yes,
Are you,
yes.
can you please come closer to your mic?
Okay.
You are having some kind of echo. Engineer Karibu.
Yes, how are you?
I'm doing well, Mheshimiwa.
I don't know whether I interrupted with a lot of echoes.
No, you are okay. But as we continue the discussion, unless I tell you to open your mic, is when you can open your mics, because it will bring some echoes to the show. Paul, you are saying something. Perhaps I interjected before you finished your sentence. Can you go ahead? Paul, you are mute. You are mute. In mute. And mute.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you asked good evening, Odongo.
Yeah, this
Good
is
evening.
Mheshimiwa.
It's okay. So Nick, you asked whether you received some of the fertilizer from the government, and is when I told you maybe to some areas you didn't receive it at all, but to some areas like currently I'm in Migori County, some of them received the fertilizers and they are made. They are going to get more than the from it. Another
Mhm.
thing we do, some of the factors that when I've heard people say that they had the fertilizers, those who used will be having some of the products from it. So the production will be higher and as compared to the initial one.
Okay, engineer, welcome to the show. This is True Talk TV. This is a channel that I'm trying to build so that our people can be informed of national politics plus the events that are happening in the counties. And I am glad you joined today. Normally we have a bigger panel on our mother station, which is Mutembei TV, which has an audience of about 30 million people. So this one is a bit local. We are trying to build it up, and I hope you people will help me build this particular channel, and the information will reach our audience, who are our people. Now, engineer, on a recap, today there was a very controversial issue of Ker Marluo Pinluo. Raila Amolo Odinga went ahead and installed the Ker Mar Pinluo, while we have a court order stopping the exercise from going on. I don't know. What is your take on this particular issue?
Okay. Thank you very much for this session. And Paul Kije, how are you?
I'm very okay. Happy to
This,
see you.
this is the first time we are meeting.
Exactly.
I know you have never seen me.
True.
Okay, you know that's the beauty about such shows. We get to know each other. We get to see each other live. You get to know this Nick is Enga Chalonade or Chwe
Enga
Biafra
Chalonade.
Mare Chalonade.
Okay, I contribute a section now, but I would like to take it a little bit long from the history Kakambede before. There's just last week on Wednesday I was in Siaya, and I was talking to some of my friends who are very close with the ODM officials, and they were being appointed there who is going to represent Siaya. So, which means from there, am I clear?
You are
We can
clear.
hear you. We can hear you. Meanwhile,
Oh,
Paul,
okay.
you can copy the links to the rest on those pages so that they can join. Thank you.
Oh, so what happened? I realized that this thing was at least it was motivated or done via the party, which is the ODM. While we as Luos, we are a big family. We have so many people in different parties, but we are all still Luos. The Luo Council of Elders is simply eldership or an eldership that is there to unite us as a family. And it is in a form of a way trying to portray of kingdomship, such that we need to have our own way of administration based on our culture. But what happened if it was influenced by one party? Then there are several people who are not involved in that, which means they would have invited even the enemies of the party, who are the same brothers. But in that case, we didn't see any other people. We didn't see also the actual involvement of the Council of Elders, because the program would not have been organized by the party. It would have been organized by the Council of Elders to make the prerequisite arrangements such that calling all stakeholders to come and maybe have their contribution on how we can continue with the appointment of the king. But when it reaches that, it is done in such a manner, which means it's the party, the main party ODM who has done it, then it looks like simply an ODM matter. So it won't bring so much of the unity across, because it will simply look like a competition of who is the dominant. That's the true fact which is there. What we want is we need Luo to be united as a family. We need to have our own system of some kind of eldership or administration, like a kingship. And also we can come up and identify the priority areas that we would like to address, which can help the Luo as a tribe. We have our motherland, which is the Bar. They call it Bar El Ghazal, but it is Bar Kasal. That's where we came from.
That's Sudan.
That's Sudan. The kingdomship, the king was there when the Arabs came to attack them again. After immediately they moved from Egypt, they came and settled in Sudan. But then after that, but the story is another story, because if you look at the kingdomship of Egypt, it is the Luos who were there previously. It was the Luos who were there. It was the Luos who were in Egypt. Then they were attacked, joined up by the Arabs, and then the Arabs attacked them. But the Arabs came when they were fought by the Greeks so much. So when the Arabs came, they just joined them and accepted them and attacked them again. So they decided to move. And we moved through along the River Nile, and we ended up in Bar Kazal. We formed our kingdom there. and we build our tombs again. And if you look at the story of the tombs in Sudan, those are Luo tombs. That's where we ended up. So when the Arabs again came and attacked them along the Nile again, it was at that point where the firstborn of our Luo grandfather was the king. The king was there and he was too old to move. So the firstborn had remained and they fight to maintain the kingdomship. And they fought and maintained that kingdomship at that land. And they have a land equivalent to England. You get it? Then we started moving this side. You get it? So the kingdomship is still there and it's still active and strong. So the clan of elders is simply a notion on to bring us back to kingdomship, because even Acholi, they have their kingdomship. Alur, they have. Jonam, they have it in Congo and across up to Sudan, up to Uganda. They have it. The Burchol, which is the Chulu, they have their kingdom. The Anuak in Ethiopia, they have their kingdom, Gambela. You get it? And you find that that's the same thing we would like to go back into kingdomship. But the kingdomship need to carry everybody, because we'll have people who will fight in every different political party. We should not be left alone in other parties. We need to have other people representing our people in other parties. But when it comes that it is the ODM who is organizing, then the other people who move to other parties, they are being sidelined. And the people that you sideline, they are 9 out of 10 of who are remaining in the ODM. So they are creating a lot of separation, disunity, and disagreement. So there will be, at the long end, we will assume that we have care, but we have a divided Luo. They would have made that thing to be much of done by the Council of Elders, who are there before they elect the other elders. They could even bring us, they would support them. Even the parties, the counties could support them so that they can facilitate the process by themselves. But when they come, then is approved, and also I don't know whether who has the powers of the old man to give the powers to the old man, to the care. I don't know who was it, but actually that's the way I take it. We will sense the difference after that.
And engineer, thank you very much for that history of the Luo movement, the Luo kingdoms, and where we are at the moment. That is quite some literature that the young people like Austin down there I've just read about, but now you can hear more of the stories that probably you would not have heard. For example, I've heard something new. So this is also a learning experience for so many people. We get to learn. But when you finished your sentence, you said that this idea is divisive because not so many minority are not on board. The minority are not on board with Raila Odinga choosing the Luo care. Baba should be a unifying factor in the family, but at the moment, it seems to be a dividing factor. How are we going to navigate the politics of tribalism if we are such a divided house?
Okay, I still have another point. Right now, okay, I didn't put off my mic, but it's okay. Right now, as you see, we are struggling for changes that would have been happening, or we are still feeling that the election was rigged or was just toppled over, and we are struggling to enforce other conditions for us, for the government at least, to put something to improve the situation in the situation of the situation on the ground, like in the prices, control of prices, and those other things. But when you go to demonstrations, even if we have the law, saying that when you have a demonstration, you only notify the police so that they be aware that you are going for a demonstration and it's supposed to be peaceful. We are supposed to show decorum of peace when we are doing the demonstration, but still there is an opportunity for the police also to take misuse that opportunity and also to bring chaos, which is to bring unlawfulness again. The other thing, we are campaigning always. We always go to demonstration, showing that we would like to show that lawfulness should be the norm of the day. But when it reaches that if there is a court order and you are the group who are fighting for the respect of laws, you get it, and you go against the court order and you continue with that, however simple it is, then you give the government the opportunity to deal with you the wrong way. They will not respect that law and they will deal with you the way they want, and you will not have the ground to say you are acting in unlawful manner. So they have already shown that they disrespect the law. If there is a court order, however simple it is, they are supposed to respect. Then they can put the government to task that you do not respect the law. So even if the government will continue to borrow money without involving the parliament, they will do it because even the opposition party does the same on the ground. So those are other issues that people should, the party should really respect. We should be a good example of what we want to be implemented on the ground, but not doing the wrong way and then pushing for the right way, which of course you are doing the reverse. So also they didn't show a good direction. The majority, even if we speak here, and possibly they can have access of these things, you will hear they will have a lot of abuses to us. We are used to abuses, yes, because you talk the truth and the fact. But it is the fact. But the fact is says that you have shown
All right,
a direction
thank you, engineer. There is some noise on your background. Maybe you mute your mic a bit. And Austin, you've been quiet for a while. Maybe inyalo wacho nwa achiel ariyo adek moko. And Bernard Ochola, welcome to the show. Nice to see you. You are a very controversial fellow. We want to hear more about the politics at national level, the cost of living. This is True Talk. This is a station where I'm trying to build so that I bring people together and see if we can contribute on the national agenda, on the national platform. We have a mother station called Mtembei TV, which has got a viewership of about 30 million people. So this is something that I want to localize, and we build it, and so we own it, so that we can share our stories, we can share what our feelings, we can impact knowledge. So welcome to the show, Bernard. Karibu sana, and let me invite others.
Thank you, Mr. Dero. I hope this is Mr. Dero.
You failed in the first interview, but I'll give you a second chance to try and call me Mzalendo. My name is Mzalendo, and that is my stage name. So my name is Mzalendo. I'm a panelist in this particular show. I am a Kenyan. I come from Ndiwa. I am from Kobwai, a ward precisely. So that is where the junction is. Okay. So, but welcome to the show all the same, Bernard.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lendo. I'm friend with that family generally. I generally from his account, Paul Kiche, a good friend of mine. Thank you very much. Thank you once again.
Okay,
Austin,
welcome, Bernard. Welcome.
Austin, wachane contribute nikech ang'eyo ni un jo bundles, samoro bundles nyalo ringo and then we are left with the studio. Kwa adwani contribute piyo piyo as we move on. I want to safeguard the people with the low bundles so that they can contribute very, very fast. Engineer Mheshimiwa here, energy unlimited. So him, I will regulate the way he talks because he can talk forever. But you young people, I want you to also to contribute on the platform. I want you to enjoy the conversation. And as you learn from experienced leaders like Mheshimiwa Odongo, who has narrated the Luo movement and up to where we are today. Koro karibuni sana. Feel free. You talk any language that you want to talk, so long as you are communicating and there's somebody who is out there who can hear what you're saying, it is important to me. Karibu sana.
Should I be saying something? Oh, he was Bernard.
Yes, say something, say something.
It's okay, thank you. Marvelous. Now, basically, which side should I address? Please guide me. Kindly.
Paul, as engineer, is settling down. Paul, what do you make of this scenario? Or
Okay,
anybody?
okay. Austin is asking about which side should we be talking about. Maybe I can just say that we were on Luo topic where today we saw Raila Amolo Odinga installing one leader that is now the Council of Luo Elders. And then on the other hand, we also have the other person who was installed by other people. So there are two people. So Nick was asking, how do you see this scenario where two people are now we are one Luo, but we are having two different council of elders. Thank you.
Fine, thank you. Sure enough, I want to say to all of you that the event that took place at Homa Bay for the last 2 days, say yes, from yesterday to date late in the evening, was I think a procedure of giving birth to public disobedience, or it is called what? You know that you know that part of the law where it suggests that the citizens can boycott to obey the law.
Where they are talking about freedom of expression or freedom of assembly.
Yeah, so this was giving birth to public disobedience that Raila was attempting to induce to the public when the government is insisting to take control without observing the demands of the public. So narrowly, I want to say that from the act that they did it against the court order. That would indulge when the Kenya Kwanza government is going to make any other issue, say that they want to borrow or they want to pass any other law, they would not listen to the court. So the court now itself has no power. Nobody is going to obey because Raila or the opposition himself with his crew did not obey the court order. Why do you expect the Kenya Kwanza now to listen to them? And they have the power. Why do you expect Kenya Kwanza now to obey the court order? Like the one that was suspended for the financial bill. Why would you expect them to obey that? Now that Raila was very raw, a week, and coincidentally, it happened at the point when the court suspended the 2023 finance bill. Why would you expect one side to obey the law and the other side does not obey the law?
You are very, very right. Maybe engineer, if you have got anything to comment on that, or if you have got a question for Austin. My question to you as a young man, There are new laws. There is the Raila Odinga law and the Constitution of Kenya that I have seen some slogans that Raila is a law. Yeah, and Raila can decide that today or tomorrow there will be an holiday in Kenya, and there will be an holiday. People have said that, and he has become this enigma who can create holidays for the people of Kenya. You as a youth, I want to pose a question to you. You as a youth, have you ever attended these demonstrations that normally are called by Azimio, the Azimio leader?
Personally, I don't even attend political rallies in the fact that I do not take a lot of time listening to politicians. But I like to engage with the public and what they have and their demand. Like there is a scenario where you can find yourself grouped by a politician, or you group yourself as a public to find a solution for your problem. You cannot find a solution for yourself when a politician has collected you to listen for him or her. So I don't listen to politicians generally in a scenario that they are collecting people for what they are aiming for. Yes.
I think Austin, yeah, I think you are in another part because you don't listen to the politicians, and 2027 you want to be in the field for the same post. Then you are the same person saying that maybe in future you'll be a leader in our area, but maybe an MCA and an MP, and then you don't listen to the politicians. So where will you get these tips?
Okay, it does
good question. Good question. Good rebuttal from Paul there. You want to be the MTA, you don't want to listen to the political leadership. You are in a vacuum. You are operating on your own, and you call yourself a politician. I think you need to answer that, Mr. Austin, if you want to become a leader of the great ward of Kobwai. And you know, Kobwai needs tough people. So you really have to come out strong and defend your position.
Okay, in a synopsis of that scenario, Paul, I will answer you in a while, but I want to eject this within the conversation that Nick posted a question from my contribution that Raila is a law himself, or there is a factor that he behaves like he's above the law. Now, I want to say that that is just an influence that incites the rogue Luo community who thinks that Raila should not be accused of anything because of the numbers that he has attained by his influence. But I want to tell you that the moment that you try to bend the law so that you can find somewhere to penetrate illegally and thumb chest, that is when you are going to divide the country greatly than how it is divided. Because we are living in a country that is composed of such as valleys amongst the community that cannot be sealed by whatever amount of say. It is very hard to bring the communities together due to pride and regional politics, more so the Luo community. As much as Kenya is divided among the communities and regional politics, the Luos themselves are further divided than how you thought they are. In fact, it was widely seen within this 2 days event that the project the event was like somebody's project being embraced. If Raila fought for the country, he has not fought for the country alone, and it does not stand that his achievement is the greatest in the country. Why didn't they name the stadium to Tom Mboya, the magnificent Homa Bay man? Why didn't they do that?
Can I chip in?
And where did they propose that a committee was to amend
Yes,
a name
yes,
for that?
yeah. I agree with you, Austin. Can you, engineer has got something to add on to that as we
It's
continue
okay.
with the conversation? Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Woodlander. That's the name I'm seeing here, but you are called Austin. I've seen you are giving some points, but it's if the points that you are giving, we are just concurrent with Mike. We are talking the same points. That lack of respect to the law is a very bad indication with the opposition to show that they should not respect the law, because the government can as well do the same, which is, of course, you agree with. But there's something you are trying to chip in here, bringing a point, then you are trying to mix the naming of the stadium, but we are talking about other things. When you bring the naming of the stadium in other things, we'll confuse the same story. We won't end up having a point to learn out of it. So if any case we can maintain to the point or to the point of discussion, then to the questions, then it's good. We can have a point where everybody will come out to understand based on this question. Then this is the answer, and this is the point that we can get. I don't know whether maybe you can narrow down to the same question and we make a point on it, and then if you go away from it, it's quite confused like another thing else. Thank you.
I think you're right, and the gentleman I think has stepped out of the studio, but he'll be back. So we are still in the discussion, ladies and gentlemen. This is True Talk TV. This is where we discuss the situation in the county and the situation in the country at large. So feel free to join. We are in a live discussion, so mind your language. We don't want to be seen as very apolitical, but we must speak the truth. We must say it as it is. Kenya right now is very, very polarized. We are divided into political tribes. The Luo nation is trying to find an identity by themselves. And just to recap on what engineer had said, and we had this discussion later, I look at it in a different angle, and correct me if I'm wrong. I look at it like we have failed in the national agenda as a community. And we have now resorted to finding a new identity as the Luo. Generally, we have had an identity called Joluo, but now we are regrouping with a new energy that is being pumped into us to come out as a new political outfit. That is what I have seen in the development of politics since yesterday. So I don't know whether I'm reading too much politics in the events that happened yesterday and moving forward. Correct me, panelists, if I'm wrong.
Can I add something?
Yes, you can add something. I added somebody called Kenneth. If you have not spoken in the studio, please can you speak, Mr. Ken?
I think the challenge is that I was just about to start sleeping.
If you are about to start sleeping, then
but before I do,
before you do, you can
let me just wake up and then sit down and talk about this issue. Yes. Hi, everyone. So, I think about this. This is a great discussion, but I'm just thinking of someone who has lost the national grip and is kind of looking for a retirement plan so that he becomes a kingpin of a region. That is what I'm seeing. I'm reading in all this which are happening. So I think us as a low tribe, we are kind of unique. We appraise or praise those who are seems to be strong, or those who are seems to be against the government, and even going against the court order. There are some people who are celebrating it and acknowledging that that is a source of strength. That is someone who is strong, and kind of that, which I feel it's unfortunate, because on one hand we are crying about justice, on the other hand we are the people who are being implementing injustices, which I think maybe in future, we're just hoping that in the next cycle of election, maybe this one person might his power might diminish, because it has already diminished nationally. That is the fact. The grip that he had in regions is going away, and MPs that were around him are kind of shying away or shying off. The governors are shying off from other regions. So he's kind of building a kind of uh, grouping in the lowland. And the reason why he's doing so, because he knows that those who are in leadership currently in lowland are at his mercy. Everybody from MCA to the governorship, he kind of dished away the certificate to them. So they are like his slaves. So he can easily manipulate them. And that is why even grouping them is not a big deal to him. So I just believe that maybe sooner or later, the elites in the community, it's just that unfortunately that in democracy, the elites have their say, but they don't have their way, because the number of people who votes, or whom they are vote, who goes to the booth to vote, are those are not majorly are not the elites. Elites kind of shy away from discussing politics and participating actively in politics, so they suffer from the actions of those who the majority who can easily be swayed away by politicians giving away tokenism. So that is the state. Thank you.
Now let me say something, Mr. Nick.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Unfortunately, I went off without saying something. I did not hear how Mr. Engineer replied to my question, but just on what Kenneth has said, I want to put an influx. If you read from Robert Greene book, 48 Laws of Power, okay, there is a law number 43 or 42 says, strike, number 5, strike the sheep, strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Ruto struck Raila. That is why you saw MP scattered. Raila now wants to be the most decorated Luo politician than the ancient that we had. Now, because he does not know and he has lost in energy, he does not know what plans Ruto has for this country, because from where Ruto sits, he wants to sit there for the next 4 years with the energy that Baba has and age comparatively. Where do you see him in 4 years? That one you must always think of. And you must be assured that Ruto, with his political science, is trying to employ a fact that conceal your intentions and seem formless. That is why you see every program has no shape. People are just placed in dockets, CS, whatever, without no production, but salaries given. This is a formula of achieving the 2027 votes. After 2027 votes, the country itself will have a different shape of constitution. And at the pace that we have started today, we are trying to destroy our constitutions simultaneously. We are consuming the sovereignty of the people. The Kenyans do not have a voice to suggest or to push the government to the wall until the government sees that I'm oppressing my people who are sovereign. So please let me stop at this point. The government does not realize that sense at any point. That is why you see the culture that we are developing in our current politics has no shape. People can pick topics everywhere. It is a topic, and we have no direction. We do not obey our constitution. That is a fact. From Raila himself, I'm a diehard or Raila Odinga, but fact remains fact. They does not change. You see, from what happened today or yesterday, we have local politics. We have local politicians like our MP Martin Owino. Even the youngest Peter Salasia, even if he says nonsense, has surpassed him. Speaks in parliament like what? In fact, always have a motion to suggest. Even the event was brought home, you could hear his name. Even, let's say, somebody like Ogina Koko is not a politician, but he enjoyed the most part of the event. Mago kata man opportunity ma Peter Owino nok nyal biro gode podia mamose kata ni jothuro untie an MP ma Ndiwa arwako u e budho wan gi kanya wang'awa an deputy kata an majority leader National Assembly Homa Bay an iluonga ni Richard Umo Gendo yawa teno nyawang'aya ka tich tiyore ne mage wane siri wane jootene. That was not opportunity that came as a gleam. To kiwacho to chal ng'ama mulo mand kwach. Koro nyaka watang' osemiwa jotelo mok nyal ritowa to kifuolo nikech osemigi teko. Koro ineno ka direction marwa chalo ka gima watho. We are going to reach a point that ji osedhi mbele osepangwe laini ni wapamne tije matiyore kata mawanga timo to ok otim gi gwengewa, otimo gi mane dhot mochimo yo kodgi kocha. I know it is very early, we cannot hesitate, but look the shape of that graph of the development kata kaka obedo structure. Anyalo post kanyo kikawach gi marach, but somebody can inject something. That is an influx.
Engineer, this young man is very, 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 very interesting. I think I never knew that other people could have a perspective like mine, and they are young. But engineer, you can come in at this juncture.
Okay, thank you. Ken or Chakola?
Ken Nichio window in the background. What he has done is just he's just switched off his microphone.
Just put off the
video.
Okay.
The video
okay.
and the mic.
Yes. I can say it this way. If you are very, very sensitive with what we want, or with the eldership, which is the Council of Elders, then we would have also communicated why we have it, our main objectives, and their roles and their programs. All these are not there. It is just Council of Elders, appointments done, their time come, either they leave us by death or do other things, but you find that we don't have anything that they say they are supposed to do and also to achieve. Based to that, possibly
No,
it can be used.
Engineer, kapo kidhi mabor, nitie gimoro ma kik wiya wilgo. You know, the former elder passed on, donge?
Yeah.
And naneno ka Raila Amolo Odinga attended the burial. And that burial,
Mhm.
there's a lady who I think was the widow of that of the mzee, the late Kerr. That lady, I don't know how many of you watched that funeral proceedings.
Yeah,
No kunene.
I saw it. I was on
You
it.
saw it. That lady was very, very categorical, and she said that she does not want the position to be inherited by this other guy who was going to court. She was very, very categorical, and I think Raila Odinga picked a cue from there. And he has perfected it. Koro, this thing started a long, long time ago. This struggle started a
Yes,
long,
I
long
can
time
know.
ago. Gimana Dwaro Penji engineer, somebody who has got a lot of experience in the Luo culture. Iparoni kijana machalo Austin or Paul Kiche, Council of Elders ni konyo gigago generally.
Okay, that's the thing when interview. When interview ni Council of Elders onego bed gi purpose. Gimomiyo entie, gimodwaro mondo wachopie, to gi kaka onego ogaidwa. Onego bed a common guidance in our culture. These things, these actions, gi responsibility momigi onego bed ni trickle down to the youths. Makoro kata ka youth dongo kata jogo wadongo to wang'eyo ni we have this culture, we have certain kind of controls and a way on how we need to behave and also how to develop ourselves. Kopo no bedo kanyo, it should be something onego bed ni bedo facilitated, and it should not just be ni a council of elder kose yere, it is simply a hope. A council of elder, no, like a care for year, it is simply like a home. We need to have somewhere where these people meet, where is known as a palace for them, and where they meet and also discuss our issues that they need to discuss on the emerging issues based on the
Apenji engineer iwacho ni jogi onego wager negi palace magirome koso bunge machalo bunge la wananchi.
That's what I need to say, because if you go to other countries, other countries like the Baganda, the Acholi, all of them, they have their palaces where they discuss with the Council of Elders. They have a way of meeting and discussing together. Here we say that we have a Council of Elders, while we don't have somewhere where we can recognize that this is the place, this is our center of unity, this is our center of control of our culture. Why anyone the Council of Elders? It's simply like kingship. But ere kumakata kedhi ni kakuri wacho ni idwa neno the care ni eno. What ere kaka care biro konyowa, you as an individual. Ere kaka gino biro konyo. Okay. It's not clear. And nobody knows. We just grow here, we have it, but we don't know the purpose.
Just a point of interruption, Mr.
So
let
me just finish here. What we need to do, we need to encourage this thing to be a strong thing. And a strong thing and Mabedo embraced by all. You get it. And people understand it well. Mondobeda, Gima simply not for a job, it can be controlled by anybody else. But the Council of Elders should be very, very independent, have their roles, and have their way. They are in a center of administration and also their meetings, and life continues, and we continue improving our systems. Otherwise, no one floating Kanyo is simply a political gimmick.
Okay, Mr. Odongo. Maybe I have some question or a point just to make it so that I can get the clarification from you or the clarity. So, as we speak, do you have some Council of Elders for Kisii or for the other communities like in Kikuyu or any other place? Another thing, you've said that these people should be independent. So, like now we witnessed where I installed another Council of Elders and the other group where we have Owili also installed another person the other day, or they say that the other person is the Council of Elders. So do you see them becoming independent, or next time we'll be having them with some politicians? I just need some clarification from your side. Maybe we have some council of elders with the other communities. Another thing in this side where Israel had another party and the other people are also another party.
Okay, that's a very good question. The reason of the divisions between the people is just because everybody who feels to be an opinion leader, or who feels to be heard or somewhere, so feel to be somebody among somebody important, will try to influence just the same way to counter other competitors. You know, these are if you look at within our tribe, definitely we are just a people of one party. Even if people move from this other main party, we still in your body, you feel still to be in that party. But what need to be, we should not be that you still be in that party. We need to still say that we still need to feel that we are in one house. You get it? And therefore, even being in different parties is not an enmity. But such that when it comes back to the Council of Elders, then it's the people, not politicians, to install people. You get it? If you install somebody and another person install another guy it will be quite the most divided Luo tribe you had never seen. And that's the thing that is going on. That's why it needs to be independent, and the politicians need to be away. And the people who have been there as council of elders, they need to be facilitated to organize on how they can bring the common man on the ground, on the way forward, how we can handle things and continue making the unity. Right away, the disunity will continue to be there. You even get other three people installing another person, and we maintain that there's one person who is the care, while other people have the care. You can see you will find that even a small group, those who are claimed to be minority, can be facilitated even to create even a center of administration for their care. And they will have even their way, like a palace for them. And you find that the one that you have installed as care is not facilitated and is not active. So those kind of differences will continue unless we make these things independent, or else that thing will not be there in some 20 years.
That's very true. That's very true, because you see them installing other people. It means that next time when it comes to these political rallies, maybe I can do now say you don't go ibro sido mana jok mono o install again.
Definitely.
You get it?
So that's the thing that we are going to experience. So that's the prayer. And this one goes deep in how we handle our politics in our country, within our region. It depends on the democracy, the level of democracy, because democracy should be that elections are not supposed to be grabbed, but elections are supposed to be conducted and fair and free. And that's what needs to happen between us. And that's the cause of the problem mostly. You find that most is the cause of the problems, where you find that the divisions is there, and we can't differentiate between the main party and also with the council of eldership. But I really pray, really pray, or else we need to have some mission away. If some people could organize and take some people away, and we walk, we travel back up to our roots. We go and learn from Ajoli. We go and learn from the Alur. We can go and learn from Burchol, our homeland. And in fact, they are welcoming us. You can go there and you get an acre, free of charge, without disturbing. And it's a fertile place in South Sudan. You go there and we learn from there, and then we can come up with that knowledge there. During these festivals, we need also to invite our brothers from where we came from. That is when it looks like a festival. A festival, you can welcome other people from far apart. The Padolas are just in Tororo here. They can come with their vehicles just by Nissan and they cross. It's just near here. Those are our brothers.
Engineer,
we speak same language.
Engineer, you have a very good point. The only difference I have with the organizers of this event is that they are talking about our culture, which is very, very rich. I am talking about the economic empowerment of the Luo community. Yeah, the economic empowerment of the Luo community. So how do we empower the Luo community using these particular events? If we have a cultural event like that one, should we bring the economic activities and that are happening in our region? Should we talk about the industries that we need to revive? Should we talk about the unemployment of the youths in our county and come up with a solution, other than having people pulling ropes and having an Oangla dance later on in the night? I mean, for me, I think these cultural events should be tied with the development. I am glad that there was a stadium being opened, but we want the future of these cultural events to talk about our maize production, to talk about our cotton factory that is dead. I want them to talk about capital fish that needs to be revived. So that's how I want to look at the future events of this kind. Mheshimiwa Daniel Ambonga aneno kwa osedonjo. Mheshimiwa, karibu sana in the studio.
I think this is another different person. He's not a Bonga, I think so. It is a Mbonga.
Ambonga. Okay.
So Nick, you've mentioned several issues about the cultural events that took place in Homa Bay. What you've mentioned, like Oangla, they must be there. We are Luos. They must be there. But what I wanted to hear, what I was eagerly waiting to hear from the event, is that maybe the counties that we were invited, maybe that is Homa Bay, Migori team, Kisumu, and Siaya. So I was really waiting to maybe from their side that maybe one or two players were picked by Gor Mahia. But I've never had such a news. They just played the field, they launched the field, and they went back. Nobody was picked from that field. So I'm wondering what was the issue?
Omega.
Well, let me contribute there. Okay, this discussion is quite good, but we should not be like as if we are opposing everything. We need to be a little bit moderate, such that the festival, it was a festival for entertainment during the occasion, and the meaning of the occasion was to Sidoker. So it was basically Sidoker, and then you do entertainments, and that's all. That's okay with the today's occasion. But what I would like to have is, if we can have this occasion, we can use it as a tool for evaluating ourselves. Based on those objectives that they had said, that we would like to improve the employment within these sectors, and then at the end of the year, during the festivals, we can touch on how we have implemented our strategies. We implemented our strategy to achieve those objectives. Maybe improve the agricultural sector, having more maize around the area. Those are the things. If they can have that, that's yes, it's very good. It is a session for trying to talk about that, review ourselves on the improvements on the targets that we wanted to do. That's very important. But it was a start. It is the initial one that had been started during the launching of or opening of that stadium. That's okay. So if we can make it as a trend in the coming years, then we can have our objectives. We discuss it during the time that for us, we had this and we wanted to improve our this and this to achieve this and this, and actually we have achieved it. Or we failed to achieve it due to these challenges and challenges and difficulties that we have. But basically, it's a point for learning, whereby on these failures we learned of this and this and this, and then we communicate across. This session as well can help ourselves to encourage our brothers who are our brothers who we can call the hubs, those who have enough funds who can generate or create some industries across to help in improving the industries or the employment. This thing can be done, and we know our people who have the monies and they can invest just across within our region to alleviate maybe the employment, whereby you increase at least you can create the employment across. We must not move from here, from home to town centers for you to get employed in a manufacturing area, while manufacturing can be done even to your local region. Those are the things that we are lacking. We have so many people who have millions and billions. Just one person is enough. I don't want to touch the name. Only one person is enough to create around 47 companies based on the amount of the billions that they have. Only one person is enough to create 47 companies, which can employ, each can employ 80 people. If we have 47 times 80 people, averagely minimum, you will have people and we will have employment and get that. By creating employment, you will create other indirect employment across. So in such situation, it can help us also to encourage our brothers to remember of where they came from and invest in Luoland, not to struggle to invest in big cities. And that's there. While everything is there, it's cheap, the land is cheap, and it's better if they can do that. But for the time being, everybody is looking at Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru. And also Kisumu, they never invest in Kisumu. They don't want even to put factories in Kisumu. It's the Indians who go back there. But our brothers, they are billionaires. They are many, but they don't do. Only around 20 people is enough to bring the life of the Luoland up. Because you can find 20 people. There are people with the billions. And if you take around each 1 billion, we'll make a factory that can employ more than 500 people. Even not 500 people, it can employ even 2,000 people. And how many people have the billions, but they are not encouraged to go back there? Those are the things that we need to fight. Identification of the industrial zones within the counties and sub-counties is very, very important also. It will encourage the people to just start up the businesses just near their homes. You go there, do your business, go back to your home. And tomorrow you go back to your business, everybody can work from home. And these are the things that we need to encourage to the people who have gotten enough that they can invest big enough to alleviate the poverty level within the region. That's the thing that I can tell you. There is much that we can speak.
All right, engineer, that's a very, very good point. A point where we come and discuss with the technocrats and the business community in Luo Nyanza how they can alleviate poverty. You know, the thorny issue has always been unemployment throughout the country and how we can employ our graduates. the Luo leadership, the current Luo leadership, I don't want you to look at a situation where I am castigating the Luo leadership, but we need to call it as it is. The Luo leadership does not come to a place where they can discuss the people, where they can discuss the unemployment, where they can discuss development. I have not seen a situation where the Ndiwa MP, the MCAs, the governor, the senator, the women rep are meeting for a consultative meeting to discuss the region in terms of opportunities that are offered or in terms of any other thing other than just politicking. So right now we are from politics. Those who have got the seats. They need to work for the people. They need to work for the people. They need to set an agenda for the people. And the agenda is set on a stage where those leaders, as you mentioned, the leaders need to come together. They need to identify the technocrats who can offer opportunity. There is a lot of opportunities. This opportunity I'm offering on this platform is an opportunity. Well, each and every time I will have an opportunity to post a job that requires somebody to work remotely from wherever they are. You apply online. If you are lucky, you can be selected. Paul Kiche, who is down in the village there, will have an opportunity to see probably that link. We will also share, I will also invite other speakers who can tell you on how you can come to the United States or go to Canada or go to the UK without a lot of hurdles. That is the reason why I am inviting you guys in this particular forum, so that we'll have different speakers talking about different things each and every particular moment. So these forums are important. Let us occupy the digital platform. The digital platform is the biggest employer throughout the world at the moment. So we need to embrace it. We need to understand how it works, and we need to encourage our people to join the platform and, and give them capacity also to join. Otherwise, we have done 1.5 hours of the show. We continue. There is a lot to be discussed. This was the first live show that I made locally, but I've been in so many other shows discussing the issues of the country and the issues of our people in general. Paul, I am not winding up. You can continue moderating. I know you have got a lot to say. Yeah?
I just want to ask Engineer Odongo something, maybe concerning politics. As we've seen that those in powers are not having ideas, but those that are outside power, or those who do not have power, we have ideas on how to create employment or bring jobs to other people. So, Mr. Odongo, where do you see Raila in the next 3 years to come? Or what will happen in the next electionary period that is coming, that is 2027? Would you wish Raila to be in the ballot again so that he can control the Luo people, or what is your take?
It's so early. The best topic would have been that we concentrate on what is important to ourselves. If always we take politics and we take discussions, general discussions that can help us improve, and then we mix up politics, then we end up losing the direction. This session, I think it should be a session only to bring some information to the youth and many other who would like to get some information on how to improve themselves, because information, imparting of information to the community or to the youth is the most important thing. How to become aware on the new world and how the trend is. Because you can be at home, you can be a motorcyclist or a border, and you feel you can get a motorcyclist who is very proud, and you can be abused in the community like as if you don't have anything in this world. Those are kind of information that we need to advise the people just to be aware of the new world and the new world order that is there, that people need to behave in this manner. You need to be very cautious on to look at the opportunities which are there. You need to also to take advantage of your strengths that you have on how to grab on the opportunities, but we should not be satisfied with the little employment that you have, which of course, if you go to other people, will not be unemployment to other people. So the awareness and the awareness in the, or in other way, awareness on the new situations on how the trend is what we need to impart to the people. In the part of politics, I don't want to talk about politics or Babasai, because we have something in front of us. We have a new government, and the government, we understand it very well. We understand the people very well, and we need to have somebody that can help us make controls. If they can overdo us in the parliament, we have the mass, and we can use the power of the mass. If we can fail to have somebody who can, charismatic person, who can maintain the unity of the people on the ground, then Kenya will be dwindled. I don't know how we can call it. It will go down worse than any other country in East and Central Africa. So Baba is still very important in the face of Kenya. Without Baba right away, you will never see us controlling the fuel. We'll never see us pushing the government to do some little concession, even for a day, because they made some orders of the maize, and that maize was enough only to run us for 3 days. And at least you could see some prices went down to up to around 185, but it is back to 220. So we still need somebody who can bring the people together and help us and guide us or lead us in achieving, pushing forward for the changes that we'd like to see. The way the system is, everything is supposed to be bulldozed to achieve the target of the existing government. But otherwise, for the time being, is still good. For the next session, I don't want to judge. But for the time being, there's nobody who can replace Baba. As at this time now, we still need it. In reaching to the next election, that's another process. I cannot talk about it. But he's still very important. He is our leader. He's our president of the is it the president of the, how do we call it? Is the
People's
president
president.
on that level, and then we have the state. A president of the people, and we have the state.
Engineer.
Yes.
Engineer Paul, I hope engineer has answered your question. Or
Yeah, I'm satisfied. I'm okay.
You are satisfied to the answers that he has given you.
Yeah. He's very clear on the
I'm
point.
not giving him the answer because he wanted me
He's
to
just
tell
clear.
him whether we need Baba in the next session. I cannot give that answer.
I heard you saying that we still need Baba. We still need him around in the politics. That's what
at this time. Yes.
It is still early for him to leave the stage, although some people would tell you, I think he's spent out. He has got still very little to offer on this current scenario. That is a situation that is debatable. It depends on where you are. If you are on Baba's side, you will feel that he has got something to offer. Those of us who are probably are on the other side, we think that he has offered enough. He has played his role in the political shaping of this country. It is time for him to throw in the towel or anoint another dual kingpin. So that is your opinion.
Let me chip in a little bit.
Yes.
Let me chip in a little bit. When US attacked Afghanistan, they went there and they installed a regime. When they were leaving, they didn't have a plan for change, and they hastily left the guys in the hands of the jungle. Baba is still simply like having the same president of Afghanistan that was toppled on the last minute when the US went out. When the US went out, they went out hurriedly and even left some of their tools, the equipment, and left it to the wrong people again. So the people went up to the wrong hands. So we still don't have, we have not made a change of guard, and therefore to ensure continuity,
anyway, I would have
of the government.
The situation about the US in Afghanistan, they had a time frame set to withdraw troops in Afghanistan, and they had a government that they wanted to put in place. Unfortunately, the Taliban, they came into a negotiation, and some of the equipment that they left for the Afghanistan, the Taliban people, were to help them build the army or build the capacity. So whatever they left behind, for them, the most important thing was to leave the war and bring their soldiers back to the country safely. The equipment was not very, very important in this particular scenario. What people have been saying about our local politics is that we don't have the numbers. You want us to go to the streets, because from what you say is that we can change some things in the streets. So far, I can ask you a very simple question. We have been in the streets 5 times since the election. Baba has organized a Sabasaba rally. Do you think that whatever he announces on the podium has got any impact on the political shaping of the country? Do you think, like he announced the other day, for example, that you need to boycott transport? You need to boycott other services. Today, I called you and you are in a transport vehicle. You need to boycott. You have never walked to work. You have been using public transport. Do you think that these things that he calls, for boycott really work?
That one, I don't know whether you see, when you tell people boycott, you need to give them a formula. Just don't just say boycott. because in a situation whereby, for somebody like me, when I go to work, I need to go work in a decent way as an important person because I'm meeting important people. Don't tell me I boycott, I walk my foot, and I'm going to deal to meet the CEOs, so I come, I'm dusted. Those are not realistic things. We need
But-
just to be serious.
But you are one of the advisors of Baba, so why are you saying they are not realistic?
Those are things which are not realistic. Let's talk the truth. What is there? We need to be serious on how we can entice the government to ensure that the cost of the fuel is down.
Thank
It's
you
brought
very
down,
much. Thank you,
but how will
engineer.
you boycott?
Now you are talking. Don't even don't even expound on the point. The opposition is weak, very weak.
Yes.
They cannot stage any war in parliament. They cannot stage any coup in the Senate. They cannot stage any coup on the streets. Because they cannot stage any coup on the streets. So what do they need to do? They need to come up with a bill or proposals that cuts across each and every body. On the cost of living, for example, in 1990, there was a bill that regulated the cost of commodity, essential commodity across board. It was passed in parliament and it became law in the 90s. Remember, that was during Moi's era. Kibaki brought the same bill in his reign, a bill that regulated the cost of maize, essential commodities in general. And we had a standard way of pricing. You know, the problem with our country is that traders also do something called hoarding. When it comes to oil, when it comes to commodities, when they see that the scarcity of sugar, whatever you had in stock, you hide it and wait for the prices to go up, anticipating that the prices will go up. Then now you start selling to make profit. So if government can come up with the measures, that can be perfect. But unfortunately, the opposition has got no capacity to come up with any measure, because I see what they talk about is that tutaandamana, tutafanya nini. But you see, huyu ni mtu amekushinda na numbers. Wewe, all you need to do is that nyenyekea, tell them this is what we want. You want the economy to run. We don't want to control, to cause disruption. We have got a raft of proposals. It's a give and take. What you can do for my people. Yeah, that is how it's done.
One thing. I can tell you there's one thing. We have the government has the numbers in all quarters, and the only tool that we remain with is the people. You see, the people are the sovereignty. I don't know how I can call it. They are the people. The common one are the people who give the
power. I know what you are implying. They're the custodian of the power.
Yes, but if they say we don't respect it because of certain circumstances, then even the government can never manage it. It happened in 2008. So what need to happen at times when situations are difficult, then the mass actions usually pushes the government to relent to the requirement of the people. So it is there, we cannot do away with it, but there is a way that people can do it. Because I know for transport to boycott, people cannot boycott the transport unless they don't have money. That's important. That's the thing that will happen. They cannot boycott transport.
You cannot boycott transport. You cannot boycott. You cannot boycott Safaricom. You cannot boycott
Safaricom. Unless if you play a rough game, you boycott one channel. Like the other time, we boycotted Safaricom, and it had a lot of impact on that service provider. Yes, it can work, But what happened is that the situation will be all that difficult such that people will decide to start working because they cannot meet the means. So it's just a general life situation. But right now, demonstration can push the government, yes. But we need to have the formula with one objective that we want this one to be done, and then we'll avoid demonstrations.
All right,
That's the
engineer.
power that we have alone.
All right, engineer, I think we come to an end of this show. We have had a very wonderful discussion. It is midnight or past midnight in Kenya. Paul Kiche, I don't need you to turn your mic or your video on so that we wind up. I know you are very, very tired. You people are not used to staying up until late. As yesterday, I stayed up until morning. I've not even had sleep. But that it is what it is. We need to keep on talking on this channel. I don't know your experience for that you had today on this particular show. If you want us to continue having this kind of discussion, do we have it on a daily basis? And each and every time I'll send you a link, you tell your friends, you subscribe to the channel. It's called True TV 24. It is a channel that I'm trying to build so that we can have these discussions. If we continue talking, we'll build a better country. If we stop the talk, then we will start fighting. So let us not stop talking to each other. We need to keep on talking to each other. We need to keep on reminding our leaders. And let us not shy away from reminding them of their obligation and our expectations on them. Mr. Paul, your last word before I give engineer to wind up.
Okay. First of all, I would like to just to send my thanks to
Well,
Mr. Nick Nyang'etsa for hosting us. Another
and
thing is a very important thing to say that engineer, it is good to that you've joined us. We are very grateful. And then maybe on the topic that you brought, that maybe we can have the discussion daily. No, that daily maybe it is not important or not that possible, but maybe once in a week we can have such a discussion. It will be better. I have no much to say, but maybe good night to everyone until we meet next time. Odongo, I've seen you today. I think when we meet physically, we can now identify each other.
You can now relate.
Yeah.
That is the important. That is the important. You only see his text.
Yeah.
You only
Text. Yeah.
see text. But now you meet Mheshimiwa himself.
Yeah, this is very important.
Very, very important. We hope that we will invite Ogindo in this show. Very, very important. I will also invite Gladys Wanga if it comes. If we become big, let me tell you, it will be a big program. And Paul, I want to build this show for you so that you become a moderator. I've seen you have got the language that you can moderate. So that is very, very important. For us, we can be on the backstage, but when we set things rolling for you, you also pick up from there. Engineer, your last word.
My last word is that I have a little bit of the happiness. You see the pressures that we used to give. Even if you are being abused, don't get tired, because I can see they are working. They are working, although they have mabonde ya matusi ziko, but then they work. I can remember there's a time, Nick, when I used to talk about mini stadia. If you can remember, I just went up. I went up to Ghana just to come up with a research. Just imagine, I spent a lot. Then I make photos. I brought them, and then I came up with the ideas of that. Gratefully, my ideas are being implemented, and I can see the county has recognized that, because because I can see there is a plan for academy, football academy somewhere being planned to be done. If suppose we don't come up with those new ideas, also they come and help. So when you bring, if you can bring the governor, it is more important because that's the right person we need to talk to. Because for the governor, even if I was in politics, we'll just speak the real stories, the good ideas on what to implement. We can even support the governor, even to improve and even perform on the channel like this. Otherwise, for the session that we have got, we are simply trying to bring just awareness to our youth, for our people to come to know on, to expose on the new information about the, the life of today. So it's a good session. But possibly the only thing that I need, we should not concentrate so much on politics, because when we talk about politics so much, it breaks much of enmity to us ourselves, the contributors. You realize you become an enemy to other people that you don't know your contribution or affecting them. But we need to be accepted in all areas. So mostly we can do away the discussion on the political issues about ODM and these other things, because
Very
you just
possible.
know we are the same people. If I contribute here, one person tomorrow will get me, but will take my words wrongly. If you go and look for business somewhere, you say that wewe unagoka baba. Things like that. So we can avoid that, and and we talk business, and we talk new ideas on employment, new ideas that we can inject to our governor to work. So when the leadership there is for all. So we don't put ourselves that we are not ODM and none other things. So we need to also to give suggestion and ideas to the same governor for her to work for us. So politics mostly, I want to shine a forth. If I'll get that it's politics which is coming to be discussed, I might shy away from it, because it may create enmity between the people that you can team up with.
All right.
And that's what I can say.
I agree with you, engineer, that we need to moderate the politics, and we talk about things that really affect us directly. But we cannot, the problem is that we cannot shy away from once in a while talking about nationally important political issues. That one once in a while will be on the table. But I want to say, for the sake of the young channel, me, I'm a very political person. So we will, as the channel moves, as the channel grows, we will have a different moderator coming to moderate on the show. Somebody, I can mentor somebody like Paul to be moderating on the show, because once people see my face, they see a mixture of UDA, a blend of Azimio, and an independent mind somewhere. So I'm cut across all these mixtures. But if you are a businessman, you need not to stick on a particular side. You need to cut across all the political divide. So I thank you very much for your contributions tonight. We have had a wonderful show. This is True TV 24. Go to YouTube, my YouTube channel. Go and subscribe, please. Don't just leave, subscribe. Have the numbers, tell your friends. Paul, subscribe, and your friends, and we get the numbers. We will continue with this discussion maybe weekly. I'll call it a weekly recap. We do it every Saturday on a recap, but next time we start early so that we don't end up very, very late in the night. Otherwise, thank you, panelists, for a wonderful show. We have done 2 good hours of this show. We started with a few guests, and the guests who have been here before, Kina Austin, Kina the other gentleman, Kenneth,
Kenneth,
who left,
Bernard, Amboga.
Bernard. Thank you very much for being part of the show. And those who are listening.
Nick. Nick.
Yes. All right. Hey, Ben. All right, Paul.
Yeah.
Everybody has left. Oriti Uru, good night. Wanere Uru. Kase close kama. Don't turn off. Aburuneni talk tent kanyo. Thank you very much and good night.
Sawa.